Sarah saw the movie. All right. Everybody else is going like this. So a problem like this shows up on all the tests. I mean, test 3, I give it every time. So you make sure you can know how to handle a problem like this. And so, first of all, a couple pieces of information. Number one, the answer is never, ever, 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 ever not enough information to tell. So just scratch that damn thing off right away. And if you put that, erase, erase, erase. Okay? That's never the right answer. Here you go, ma'am. You might want to have that. Maybe not, I don't know. So that's number one. Number 2 is the number in front of the x squared. That controls whether the graph goes up or whether the graph goes down, right? So if the graph goes down, what would we know about the number in front of the x squared? It had to be a negative number. If it goes up, the number in front of the x squared had to be a positive number. So what do I know about A? A must be greater than 0 because it's going up. Okay? And people go like this. Seriously, that's all you wanted to know? Honestly? Well, yeah, it's easy to know what you're looking for. Okay? Now, b squared minus 4ac. Where would we have seen this piece before? There's a specific name for that. It's called the discriminant. Right? It's called the discriminant. Now, what does the discriminant tell me? It tells me something. What does it tell me? Tim? It doesn't tell me where, it tells me if. It could also tell me where as well, and use it with a different context. But it tells me if it crosses the x-axis. So if the discriminant is positive, it crosses twice. If it's negative, it doesn't cross at all. And if it's equal to 0, then it crosses once. How many times does this graph cross the x-axis? Twice. So what does that tell me? b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0. Okay. What's C? C is the y-intercept there. Now, where does the graph cross the y-axis? And I've actually had somebody tell me this. Well, it doesn't. It's not? Clearly. It's just going to keep going up and up and up. Up and up and up. It'll never cross it. It has to cross. The domain is negative infinity to infinity. At some point, it's got to go from this side to this side. It's got to cross the y-axis, yes? Where will it? It'll do it above 0. So C is bigger than 0. Does everybody understand how I got to those 3 answers? Okay. Yes, sir. C is the y-intercept. So where does the graph cross the y-axis? Where does this graph cross this y-axis? Way up here. Like here, I'm going to take you all the way up there. You ready? Wait. It won't go high enough, but it's up there. Okay? It's about up here. Okay? No problem. Any questions on that? All right. How do you find the vertex? Who remembers? Sarah?
It's
negative b over 2 times A. Negative b over 2a. So in this case, it's negative 4 over 2 times a. So negative 4 is positive 4 over 2, which is 2. So the vertex has an x-coordinate of 2. What's the y coordinate? Get out of town. How do you know that? How do you find it? 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 1. 2 squared is 4 minus 8 plus 1. Negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. Your vertex is negative 3. Yes?
Do we always find out?
Huh? You have to find both x and y. Okay. What is the discriminant? The discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. So in our case, it is negative 4 squared minus 4 times a times c. So the discriminant is 16 minus 4, which is 12. Your discriminant is 12. And what does that mean? You'll have 2 x-intercepts. Okay. Any questions on that? Any questions on that? All right, so we got parking problems. So we're going to take 600 feet of rope and we're going to mark off a new parking lot. So what you need to know here is we have the street here, okay, and we're going to mark off a new parking lot. All right. Now, what's the maximum area possible for the parking lot? If this is x and this is x, then we've used up 2x. How much is left over? 600 minus 2x. Right? What's the area going to be? X times 600 minus 2x, right? So it's negative 2x squared plus 600x. Okay. Now, how do you find the vertex? Negative b divided by 2a. So you got negative 600 divided by negative 4. X is, I think that's 150. And by I think, I mean it is. Okay. So if this side's 150, this side is 300. 150 is 300. You got 300 left over. So your area is 150 times 300. 3 times 15 is 45. It looks like you have 3 zeros. Yeah.
I did it like 300 minus x and then put the other 300 minus x where the street is.
Yeah, but that doesn't have to be, you don't have to rope that off where the street is. You know, like for example with my pen, you know, with the dog thing that we did? Well, the observation my wife made, which is actually a pretty good observation, is, hey, honey, don't you want the fence to come up next to the house so you can just open the back door and let her go out? I mean, that's what most people would do if they're going to make a fence in the backyard. Most people don't go like this. Hey, here's my house. Here's the fence over here. That's not what most people do. Okay? So when you're actually doing that, you would actually let one side of the house or one side of the street act as the fourth side for you, and you wouldn't have to fence that side off. So you could get more bang for your buck that way.
You weren't doing that? You were just going to make your pin?
And then she came out and she's like, you're not putting it there, are you? And I was like, well, of course not. Okay. All right. With that being said, I'm gonna at least press stop.